Okay, so I got a special request here. Someone asked me for some help with homework. First time doing this, so it should be interesting. Had some time, so I figured I could try and help out. So we got 5 problems here. And I need to try and solve these algebraically. So the first problem, 5 students were absent from class today. This is 1/4 of the class. How many students are in class? So you have to take the little hints from the word problem that they give you. So we have 5 students were absent from the class. And this is 1/4 of the class. So they have 5 students equals 1/4 of the whole class. So 5 equals 1/4 or 1/4 x. To solve for x, you multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of this. So times 4, cross that out, and multiply times 4, x equals 20. There are 20 students in the class. Alright, I'm going to kind of move quickly here so I can not make this too long, so it won't take too long to upload. Guessing homework is due tomorrow. Alright, Molly has 3/4 of the points she needs to win a trip. She has 618 points so far. What is the total number of points needed to win? So we have to figure out how many points she needs to win this trip. We know she already has 618 points. So 618 equals 3/4 of P, or points that she needs. So we have to figure out how many total points. So all we do is multiply or divide by 3/4. But if you don't know what 3/4 or 618 divided by 3/4 is, like me, what you can do is multiply your number by the denominator by 4 and then divide it by 3. So we'll do it that way. 618 times 4, we'll do it over here. 618 times 4, 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 4 times 6 is 24. And we take that number and divide it by 3. See, now we just multiplied by 4, so we got rid of that. So now it would be 2,472 equals 3p. So we would divide by 3. We'll just do it here just for saving space. Divide by 3. 3 goes into 2 0 times. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. Bring down to 7. 3 goes into 7 2 times. 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Have 1 left over. Bring down to 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. Oh, we already have a 4 there. And that's 12, no remainder, 824. P equals, 824 equals P. That step there is the same thing as dividing 618 divided by 3/4. It's the simple way to do that. So P equals 824. Next one. Let's see. Tom is 4 years older than 3 times his brother Ed's age. The sum of their age is 24. How old is each boy? So Tom equals his older brother Ed, so 3e plus 4. And then we also know that Tom plus Ed equals 24. So what I'm going to do is solve for one of these and use substitution, and then set it equal to each other so I can figure out what one of the answers is, or what one of the variables is, and that way I can get an answer. So I'm just going to solve for Tom. Those are t, so I'm just going to subtract e from both sides, minus e. So then we have t equals 24 minus e. So now I have something that I can use for t, and I'm going to put this into the first equation that we have and set them equal to each other. So we have 24 minus e equals 3e plus 4, and then we're just going to solve for e. So we do minus 4 minus 4 have 20 minus e equals 3e. I'm going to add e plus e to get all the e's on the same side. 20 equals 4e. Then divide by 4 to solve for x. Or sorry, so you should use an x's. 4e. 5 equals e. So Ed's age is 5, and we know that Tom's age is 3 times Ed's age plus 4. So 5 times 3 equals 15 plus 4 equals 19. And to double check, they also gave us in the problem, they told us that Tom's age plus Ed's age equals 24. We have 5 plus 19 equals 24. Tom's age, Ed's age. Alright, next we have Chris scored 5 more points in the basketball game than Beth did. Together they scored 29 points. How many points did each player score? So we have Chris scored 5 more points than Beth. So his points is x plus 5 equals 29. Simple enough. Is that easy? Chris scored 5 more points in the basketball game than Beth did. No. Tricky. So we have x plus 5. No. This is what we do. So because Chris scored 5 points more than Beth, and their scores added together equals 29, what we do is 2x plus 5, because that's one score, that's Beth's score, plus Chris's score, or plus Beth's score plus Beth's score, plus 5 would make it Chris's score, equals 29. So minus 5, 2x equals 24 divided by 2, x equals 12. So best score would be 12, and then add 5 to that would be Chris's score, would be 17. So then we have 12, or 17 plus 12 equals 29. Beth's score, Chris's score. And last one, if you add 10 plus 1/3 of a number, the result is 20 less than the number. Find the number. So we have 10 plus 1/3 x, and the result are equals that number, or 20 less than that number. So x minus 20. And then just solve for x. Plus 20 plus 20 comes out to 30 plus 1/3 x equals x. Get all the x's together, subtract 1/3 x equals, or subtract that from both sides, third x. X minus 1/3 x is 2/3 x equals 30. Divide by 2/3. 30 divided by 2/3. If you don't know what that is, like we did with the other problem, you can multiply it by the denominator and then divide by the numerator. So we'll do it that way again. So 30 times 3 is 90, and then divided by 2 is 2 goes into 9 4 times, goes 8, and 1 left over, bring it down to 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times, 45. X equals 45. You can check the answer. If you add 10 plus 1/3 of a number, 1/3 of 45 is 15. 10 plus 15, then that number should be 20 less than the number. So 10 plus 15 equals 25. 25 is 20 less than 45. 25 plus 20 equals 45, the number. There you go.